So we just finished marking out a trail and we're gonna walk back down it so you can see what we did, and hopefully it'll become something by the end of the day.
First ever trail.
First ever trail.
So there's basically 8 minutes of us just walking down the hill, and I think you get it. There's a lot of trees. So I'm gonna save the majority of this video so it's not too long for the end. That way you can see what we actually did.
See this stuff? That's all Steve pulled out of the ground with the Mini X, and you know, we know this would be a whole lot easier with like a skid steer, but we don't have one of those today. We have a Mini X because we were trying to find soil sites, so we're using what we got. So I did a time-lapse video of the path we just made to the cabin, and it sucked. So I'm gonna do a regular video and I'll probably speed it up later, but anyhow, here we go.
All right, so here we are at the beginning of the path. We passed by the pond, which is right there. All told, this path is about 2/10 of a mile, which isn't too bad. We thought it was a lot longer than that, but it wasn't. It just does a lot of meandering. We cross over 2 ravines. I call them ravines. They're wet weather creeks. We're going to have to build 2 bridges. Here we are coming up to a split. One way leads to the cabin, the other leads to the tent. This way is to the tent. We're going to put it up there, and up in there somewhere the rocks are going to be a congregating area, and then back the other direction is where the outhouse is going to be, where we dug a hole. And then back to the main path. I call it the main path because it is eventually going to go not only to the cabin but also to a tree house. It's just going to take us a lot more planning to get there. We used the Mini X to move the trees and limb trimmers to get rid of the little stuff, and the rake to move the leaves so that we could see where we were going. And then here we are at the end. This is the highest point on the property. We're going to put a cabin somewhere in the middle of those 3 big trees there. And there's a pretty rock wall in the back, and it's just absolutely gorgeous.
So yesterday, I was pretty disappointed that we could not figure out a way to get the trailer with all the cabin supplies on it so that we could start building something. I don't know that we could have started building yesterday, but we worked real hard to try to make a path up here so that we could get that trailer and pull it with the Mini X, and it just was not happening. The hills are too steep in some parts, and the curves were just too tight, so we're gonna have to figure out something out. More on that later. This is gorgeous up here, and I just can't wait. This is gonna be amazing.